day of the Super Tournament Artosis. We start out with 16 players, only 4 remain. And we have a kick-ass lineup for the Final Four.
Yeah, we certainly do. There's no question about that. Also, tonight we will decide the final BlizzCon competitor. Is it going to be Rogue? Is it going to be SOS? We'll see.
Rogue has to win the entire thing if he's going to be going to BlizzCon. Otherwise, it looks like it should be going to SOS. Of course, Hero in the Final Four, the person who won the first Super Tournament we had. This is the second and last one of the year, but he's definitely somebody you can't count out as well.
No, certainly not. I mean, as long as he gets here on his skateboard, it's raining out, so I'm a bit nervous.
That's right.
For
He's
him.
been skateboarding down here every day. He's way cooler than anybody else I know.
He's
skateboarding to your own computer game tournament that you might win. You won 1-4. I'm like, it's like out of a manga or something. But
he's already going to BlizzCon and stuff. He's been winning tournaments this year, playing so well. He's like 3-0ing the two-time world champ, 3-0ing the #1 ladder Protoss. He's just like, oh, man.
I don't know, man.
Is there anything cooler than Hero? I say no.
Yeah.
I say no.
So our Final Four, INnoVation versus Rogue on one side of the bracket. That's going to be crazy. Artosis thinks Rogue's going to win the whole thing, and I think he might be right. But INnoVation is like really hard to count on ever. And then on the other side, it's Dark versus Hero. Dark getting second place at BlizzCon last year. And a fantastic finals against Beyond. And then Hero, who seems to be in better form than we've ever seen. He already won the first Super Tournament, as I mentioned.
Yeah. All these guys are completely monstrous right now. Like Dark just had a GSL top 4. He just had a second place SSL. Hero just had a second place Shanghai. 2 Rogue, by the way, in the finals there, who did win Shanghai at IEM. And of course, INnoVation just won Code S like a few weeks ago. So, I mean, these guys are the top of the heap. I mean, it's crazy because like I keep looking at the top of these tournaments and it's turning into like StarCraft 2 is so like matured at this point. The best players are the best players. There's turnover, but it's slow. And I love it. I just watching these guys just consistently hit the top and show how good they are. Like every game we watch INnoVation right now, just like wow. He really is the greatest, isn't he?
Yeah, it's like he gets a few percentage points better each time, but it's crazy, man. We are going to be bringing out our 2 players for our first match, INnoVation and Rogue, and we are going to have an interview, see what their thoughts are before we get this started. But yeah, these 2 guys, man. Rogue never looking better. INnoVation, everybody's saying he's the best in the world.
슈퍼토너먼트입니다. 자, 4강 정말 중요한 무대에 까다로운 상대를 만나게 됐는데요. 이신영 선수와 이병렬 선수 만나서 이야기 나눠보겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요.
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 네, 정말 중요한 무대에서
all
만난 상대죠. 먼저 이신영 선수.
네.
강력한 우승 후보죠. 일단
Okay, sorry, we had lost audio for a second. I'm back now, guys. So, INnoVation, you're the favorite for this tournament.
어떤 느낌이 드셨어요?
What was going through your mind when you found out Rogue was going to be your opponent today?
아, 그냥 힘들다.
I know it's going to be a tough series.
워낙에 기세가 좋고 또 조성주 선수를
Because
상대로
look, he's
이기고
looking better than ever. The way he destroyed Mario,
상대라고
3-0.
네, 저희도 계속 기대하는 게 바로 그런
I have to
조성주
respect that, so he's going to be a worthy
이병렬
opponent.
선수니까 충분히 이신영 선수를 잡을 수 있겠다 이렇게
Rogue,
보고
a lot of people are
계시거든요.
saying
많은 분들이.
if you defeated Mario like that, you could certainly defeat INnoVation in the same fashion. What do you say?
긴장 많이 하고 있어요.
INnoVation is different
이병렬
though.
선수도 이신영 선수는 확실히
So to be honest,
까다로운가요?
I'm much more nervous facing him.
신영이 형은 게임 안 한 지 너무 오래됐고.
So you still think he's a better opponent?
항상 또 이렇게
Yeah, because I don't actually face off against him that much in tournaments.
잘하더라고요.
네.
And he always acts like he's not as good as he is.
긴장하고 있다.
But he also
지금
shows great
스튜디오
games.
내에서도 지금 긴장감이 흐릅니다.
It's packed in here, by the way, guys. Super
두
duper
분이
packed.
만난 적이 없어요. 그래서 경기가 어떻게 될지 예측이
So when we look at your match
어려운데
history,
일단
you guys don't really
상대가
face off in
거의
tournaments.
이상에서는
You haven't had the
만난 적이
opportunity to meet.
없습니다. 두 분이 왜 이렇게 못 만났을까요?
Oddly, in Legacy of the Void, you guys have actually not met. I didn't realize that, did you?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
아, 그랬었군요.
He says because INnoVation says because Rogue loses before he gets to me.
연습 때는 혹시 못 만나셨어요?
아니요, 레더에서는.
What about in general? Do you guys end up meeting on the
거의 다
ladder?
이겼어요.
네.
그래요? 이신영 선수에게는 안
If
좋은
I,
소식인데요?
Rogue says he beats INnoVation every time they face each
Yeah,
other.
Rogue has been basically #1 on the ladder for a long time.
혹시 그때 연습 때 살살 하셨나요?
Yeah,
아니요,
he says, I think I've lost 90 games out of 100 against Rogue. That's INnoVation saying that. But then I can't read his sarcasm if that's correct.
여기서도 이렇게 종족의 벽을 말씀하실 줄은 몰랐습니다. 역시 우승자
He says, I'm going to do my
클래스죠.
best,
자,
but he's blaming it on Zerg
이병렬 선수.
and not on
네,
Rogue.
Well, this wouldn't be StarCraft 2 if he wasn't.
각오를 들어볼 텐데요. 먼저 이신영 선수.
Before we start the semifinals, anything you want to say to Rogue?
사실
Honestly,
자신감이 있었는데 어제
I had confidence yesterday.
순수 선수한테 지고 나서 좀 떨어졌어요, 자신감이. 그래서 사실 이길 것 같지는 않은데 그래도
I lost a match against Snoot.
저희가
So that
지켜보겠습니다.
last night in
이신영
Shoutcraft, so
자,
that's
이병렬
affected
선수,
my
이신영
confidence.
선수가
I know they're different players anyways. I'm going to do my
까다로워하고
best.
있네요. 이병렬 선수 각오 들려주시죠.
오늘은 근데 잠을 제가 생각보다 많이 못 자서 제가 또 성주랑 하고 동준행 할 땐 10시간씩 잤는데
Rogue says I didn't sleep that well last night.
좀 걱정이 많이 되고
When I have a match against tomorrow, I felt a little bit more rested, but it's been a restless night for me last night, being in the Final Four.
오늘을 경기 이길 것 같아요.
I think as long as I can take the
자,
first
인터뷰
map,
상으로는 조금은
things should fall into
약한
place
척하고
and I
있는
should be
그런
fine.
모습들도 조금은 느껴지실 텐데요. 하지만 경기에 들어가면 돌변하는 선수들이죠. 자, 과연 결승 진출자는
Okay, that's the interview, guys.
4강 1경기
sorry about the start of that, guys. We had a super low audio in our headsets. We are going to go into this match, and I don't know what to expect. INnoVation giving Rogue a pat on the back. So Rogue has looked better, like the best late game we've ever really seen in a Zerg ever. It used to be dark. I feel like Rogue is on the next level. If you didn't see his games from yesterday, don't go watch him now because we're live. But if you're somebody who's watching this and just wanted to see the last day, I would recommend you watch this entire tournament from start to finish. It's been 4 days of kick-assery. And I think today is going to be no different. In fact, this should be the very, very best games we've seen, possibly of the whole year. This tournament, Super Tournament, I don't know what it is about this tournament. It always produces awesome games.
Well, best of fives, and it's just like it basically just cuts to the top 16 immediately. There's not that many shenanigans getting in. You know, we don't really have low-level players getting far at all. So pretty awesome. Aces, what do you think? INnoVation versus Rogue. Who is going to take it down?
You know, I think if it was anybody else, I would say INnoVation, but I think it's actually going to be Rogue 3-2. Rogue has just so impressed me, not just with who he's beating and how the games are going, but there's so many little things in each of his games that are just so incredible. It shows just how insane he is. By the way, look at INnoVation's win rate.
Yeah, he's good.
Wow.
He's like the best
really
player in the world, basically. But no, I mean, I've been calling Rogue for a while, man. I kind of feel it. He's in just such good shape. He's been dominating the Korean ladder. I mean, both these guys are like 7K MMR in Korea, but he's really kind of coming to. He's a complete package Zerg. He's great strategically, micro, macro, everything. And I think that overall for late game play, like you were talking about before, he's unrivaled. I can definitely see him taking this series against INnoVation in the tournament in general, especially considering, you know, a lot of these maps are very, very big, and if INnoVation can't just lean and use all of his mechanics to the utmost against Rogue, which on these maps I don't feel like he really can as much, then he's in some trouble, man. It's hard to win that late game.
I feel like on some level, this is INnoVation's final boss. He's had a really strong year, but Rogue looks so perfect. And seems to know how to sustain for so long. Rogue's won a lot of games, outlasting his opponent, which actually is not how we understand Zerg to function. Usually you try to outlast the Zerg. In a lot of these games, they run out of bases. Rogue seems to be the only Zerg in the entire world who does the opposite. A Terran actually mines out their side of the map, and then he's got one base left over. And it's weird. It's weird to say. I didn't think we were going to have games like that, but he seems to be able to do that. I guess not just against Terran, but against Protoss as well. We're going to start things off on Abyssal Reef.
All right, so Abyssal Reef to start, very good map, and then we got 3 pretty big maps, finishing it off on Odyssey, another kind of smaller map here. So this is going to be a very, very good series. I'm really looking forward to this. What styles will INnoVation use? He definitely has started to mix it up even more than he ever has. Is he going to play aggressively, bio, mech? We have no idea.
We don't know. This is game number 1, INnoVation versus Rogue. right, in the upper left, in the blue, he is
INnoVation.
What was the first tournament in 2017 that we casted where INnoVation started to dominate? Was that INnoVation?
Yes.
So that's really where, now we know that INnoVation's been good for a long time, but that's where we really saw him. Hold on a second. In the bottom right in the red,
Jin Green Wings.
talking about these players before the intro's even done. So that's really, we saw at the start of the year, the IM that's in Korea. We saw Rogue INnoVation just start to dominate.
Yeah.
And it's continuing to happen. And the Super Tournament this is the last StarCraft 2 tournament for us for the year. INnoVation do it for the Terrans.
They're all dead except
They're all
for
dead. He's the
INnoVation.
last one.
But yeah, like, you know, since the dissolution of Kespa in Star... Oh, that's an amazing
amazing
picture.
drawing.
Oh, my God. That is scary as can be. But look, since kind of Kespa went away, we've seen the top players distance themselves more than I think we've ever seen in StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of got a fire lit under their bums, and they are really practicing hard. And INnoVation, you know, someone who we've kind of considered to be the best player in the world pretty much most of the time, right, over the past several years.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's kind of entered that orbit, and then occasionally we have to be like, wait a minute, is he really there? And he kind of backs up a little bit, he comes back in. He's sort of been in the...
He had like a very small rough patch with TVT kind of randomly.
That's right.
In, where was it, like February through to June-ish or so, and then he was like, oh, I fixed that now, and then he wins GSL.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, he's just such a monster, but like Rogue has come up so strongly. He's been up at the top of the Korean ladder, just kind of dominating that for a very long time. Again, I am Shanghai, a tournament very much like SuperTournament with just the absolute top players meeting for a few days to see who wins. Crushed that tournament, right? And he's just, if you just look at his play, it's like, oh my God. We finally have another Zerg like this, right? It's like,
yeah.
you know, like, I mean, you know, obviously Dark and Sue are fantastic, but this is it just the feels of having a Zerg of this level, of this power. It feels like when Sulky was the best Zerg. You know what I mean? Where it's just like Sulky fought against INnoVation, literally. Remember that reverse all kill?
That was so weird.
Like,
I think that's the only reverse all kill we ever had, right?
I believe so in the Codes finals.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that type of thing where
that might have been our
like,
longest finals ever, by the way.
You think so?
I think so. It went on for a
You don't think it was Nesty versus Inca?
Nice one. Very funny. That was like a 45-minute finals we got out of it. It's the worst, and then speed run the finals. So, in this game, it's on Abyssal Reef. This is a map that's shown that you can kind of have any kind of game on it. It really does reward any playstyle. The first question we wanted to ask for Rogue's sake was, where is he going to take his third base? Because there's three different options here. And he's taking the one that is hugging the right side of the map just above his main. And the reason why that matters is because in this matchup, Terran's always pushing.
Yeah.
And we've actually, there's this, I think, still open for debate with all the pros is which one do you want to take?
Well,
actually, I mean, I think the middle one. I think some people would say no, but we've seen some pros take the bottom center and other pros take the center right.
Yeah, I think as Bane Hydra gained power, that 6 o'clock expansion really came into play. But as Terran started to counter that with more siege tank timings, it kind of went away again. That's kind of my feel for it, but. Taking a look at this, he's trying to get around with these Hellions. There's not that many Queens defending.
Really good placement here with the Queens and the Lings. He's even the Lings just far back enough that they can't, the Hellions can't move forward.
By the way, I do really want to mention, and he's making some Cyclones right now along with folks, so we might be seeing mech here from INnoVation, but Rogue opened with a dark opening. He went for speed quickly, right? Gas pool hatch.
Yeah.
And then he went into very quick overlord speed as well. This is something that Dark does a lot. It allows him to possibly get aggressive, but of course always be able to scout what his opponent is doing and always be safe against early aggression. And it's very interesting to see Rogue doing this as well. You know, a lot of Zergs feel like they just got to throw that hatch down, get their economy going, but when you get to the very top of the world with Zerg, you know, these guys, they just want to live through the first few attacks.
I think Dark ushered in the first modern era of late-game Zerg that's like, if we get far enough along, I'm actually in a better position than you. Whereas I think Rogue has cemented it in a different way that we haven't seen before. Artosis, is that 2 armories?
That's 2 armories.
Artosis,
And that's
that can only
exactly
mean
how
one
many
thing.
armories you should have, right? Armories that you should have.
Wow. Okay, so we're going to have an alternative style here. INnoVation not going to be doing
By the way,
heavy infantry pushes.
we have one less match than on the other nights, but I think tonight's going to be our longest night.
Oh, it should be with
I think that this series is going to take hours.
Well, the thing is that both Rogue and Dark, the 2 Zergs that are here, are the guys that don't usually try to end games early. Dark does do some timings, I guess, in his...
Oh my
Whoa, hold up,
God,
hold
that's
up.
a lot of Hellbats.
Kind of an odd timing here. Not something we normally see. Normally the Hellbat timing would have come in a little bit earlier, but 2 Cyclones and the Hellbats here. Well into when Zerg has Roaches. Let's see how this actually works out.
Oh, look, he's hitting some transfuses right now.
Oh,
He's
bring
starting
the
to clean
drones
it.
back.
Oh my God, yeah, the drones he's got to be
Why are
very,
these
very
drones
careful
going through
about
it?
right now.
Oh, all right, we're not going to know how many drones were actually killed there. Rogue actually so confident in that attack, he moved his workers through there.
He
We did not
drilled
have
his
any-
workers through Hellbats.
But did any die? Not in that initial
No.
attack. 3 have died later on. But that was some, like, I know this exactly stuff. Like,
That
he saw that, okay, I'm going to win the fight. I need to get my workers over here as fast
like
as
the
possible.
confidence of this play, like
Yeah, I know.
he drilled them through Hellbats.
I would.
What more can
if
I
I
say
was
here?
playing, I would have been too scared to do it because I'm like, well, if I lose it, I'm going to look really dumb.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Okay. Very, very good by him, I guess. He
Yeah.
holds off that initial attack. The Banshee's still flying around, trying to find some damage. Definitely a decent amount of drones have gone down.
Oh, look at this. He's just going to do a quick counterattack. He says you probably don't have that much over here. And by the way, that was a weird timed attack there by INnoVation. We don't normally see Hellbats at that time with 2 Cyclones.
Yeah.
Then again, the mech is starting to get really trendy right now in the game again, whether against Zerg or against Protoss here. So, I don't know, man. I think INnoVation may have already messed up a little bit. He's lost more workers than Rogue ever did. I think this is almost an improvised attack here from Rogue after that happened. He goes, okay, I probably could just go over here and hit you.
You know, he has all these roaches. If you can trade out roaches at the lower supplies, that's good. They do not scale well, especially against mech. You get a certain amount of siege tanks out, and the roaches are like nothing. You're trying to throw them away as best you can, killing anything.
Hey, if we could just zoom out here for a second, what happens if it's actually Rogue versus Dark in the finals?
Well, I think that is quite a nice finals, as EVC
Quite a
obviously.
crazy
but,
finals, yeah, but I'm curious because I don't know.
I think whoever he goes up against, Rogue is taking this, man. He's just like...
all right.
I mean, Dark definitely played some good ZVZs against Sue, but... Yeah, this Rogue kid.
So our
knows what
studio
he's doing.
Our studio is already filled up here.
It's super filled up.
I don't know if we're going to be able to rearrange more chairs here, but there are people stuck way in the back. So hopefully we will...
Standing room only.
Standing room only now. So we have the Banshees taking some more damage here. And it looks like the Banshees are going to be driven out now. And we're going to have to wait and see when INnoVation wants to do his next attack. Zerg can choose to attack here, especially now that that 4th base is being taken, but it's sort of up to the Terran. And when you see a Terran meching, especially if he's making any tanks at all, it usually means he can't attack for a while.
He's made a good amount of Vikings already here, and that's good because Swarm hosts are popping out at this moment. So Rogue is going to start throwing those locusts in wave after wave, trying to gain some value, and definitely, you know, the Vikings a good way to fight those off at least a little bit. Securing his air control, adding those factories and getting 2-2. And like they both definitely did some damage early on to each other, but in the positions they're in, I don't think anyone's going to die like anytime soon.
Well, we see the Swarm Host, sort of a signature Rogue unit in the SuperTournament here, but it's actually, it seems like with the number of Vikings that have been made, INnoVation's already kind of zoned out the utility of those units. This map, it's not as easy to run around and try to hit them with Swarm Hosts.
You know, you can send them up top, try to hit the natural. You can go down and try to hit the 4th a little bit.
But I think it's also on this map a little bit easier to intercept them than on like Acolyte or something like
it's
that.
It's kind of compact in the middle, you know, and since he has those, this is kind of a nice route.
Yeah, it's like 8 workers killed. Very nicely done.
You got a couple Hydras in there as well. But since he has the air domination here with Vikings, with Banshees as well, he can chase these Swarm hosts down a bit, right? Like poke them with the Banshees, try to take down as many Locusts midair. So he's making them release these a little bit further back. This is why the Vikings can be good. He's going to remove a decent amount of these before they get in. Obviously, some damage will be done. These are Swarm hosts. I mean, come on.
Yeah, looks like they're going to come down here now. But it's also nullified. I mean, when you think of the investment that Zerg had to make to get the Swarm Host, right?
Yeah.
They don't do anything
Yeah.
at all.
And so far, they really
And they
have it.
actually eat up a lot of supply, too, which is super annoying. So, I don't know. It's kind of hard now. I think for Dark, I think INnoVation's come here with a really good response. He's definitely not just playing the matchup, but the player as well. Oh, nice. Takes out both Banshees. He's definitely prepped to go to a long game against Rogue and ideally wear him out. So we're going to see if Rogue can actually match this.
By the way, I love this type of play out of Rogue, where he actually like escorts these up so he can actually launch these a lot closer.
Yeah.
Then they're going to get a lot more damage done. The Vikings not able to do anything this time.
Yeah. And, you know, even though this doesn't appear like it's doing a lot to, you know, the casual observer, this is doing, even if it's a little, in a game that's supposed to go on for a long time, that's all you need is to do.
Yeah.
In the long run, if we add it all together, okay, well, this guy lost more stuff, and all you were doing was making these locusts that are free. They come out of the backs of the Swarm Host. So
let's say he throws out, like, over the course of this game, if he doesn't lose them, he throws out 20, 25 sets of locusts.
Yeah.
Like, that is going to add up over time for sure. And it kind of puts some pressure on INnoVation too, right? He has to watch for where they're coming out, try to intercept as best he can. It's definitely an annoying thing to deal with.
2 Spires, Artosis.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your economy's getting so big here, and you're expecting the game to go so long. You just got to get full upgrades on absolutely everything.
I wonder, in the way this is going, if you can punish the Terran for the fact that he's getting so many Vikings. You know, when you get in a super late game like this, guys, and I know that, you know, every time we have a finals, and even though we're doing semifinals and finals, we get a lot of people that are not that familiar with RTS. So I just want to explain this, and it's an important concept to understand. Is that there's a cap on how many units you can make, right? It's at a 200 supply. So then, what units do you have with that supply? If he has like 15 Vikings, 16 Vikings, well, maybe we can try to throw away some units here and then get stuff that's going to counter that unit composition. And a lot of times in late game situations with both races in this matchup is, as you guys crash into each other, you try to identify what units they have remaining and make the counter units to that.
And, you know, for Terran, since they are producing their units a little bit more slowly, you know, obviously, Larva, if you have the money, you can just max your army in one go. But as a Terran player, you're kind of making a comp that's as solid as possible, right? He's got siege tanks, a couple Thors in there. He has a ton of Vikings right now, continuing those upgrades. Later on, we'll see things like Ravens added in. But, like, overall, his composition can kind of deal with everything. So for Rogue, it's like once some of these real big battles happen, he's losing chunks of his army. Based on what he kills, that's when the Zerg gets a little bit more powerful, right? He can like really shift his tech and see if something will work. But in this matchup, I think we're gonna.
Oh, hold on. Parasitic Bomb on those Vikings. You're gonna be able to split them up. They are getting very low, and he's having a hard time trying to split them up entirely as he needs to try to take on these locusts. That was a big blow actually up there. By the way, vehicle, weapons, and plating level 3 is finishing right now. So at this point in time, INnoVation's mech army is not going to get any stronger. It's at its strongest that it can be, essentially.
Yeah, he's just got to get his air attack now for these Vikings, and that's about it for him, even getting his building upgrades at this point. But yeah, those parasitic bombs, this is a big part of Rogue's late game play against you know, both Protoss and Terran. And to be honest, if he plays against Dark, these two can give you a game where you see Viper's late game as well. And so you see, not even joking, yanking lurkers out of the ground, man. Nothing's funnier than that. But no, I mean, the Vipers are such a big part of it. These parasitic bombs going off, dealing that AoE damage to the Vikings, trying to pick as many off as possible.
Okay, we can see the Locust still spilling in here, and basically he's getting free kills on INnoVation stuff.
And this is so beautiful, right? He launches the Locust, everything's attacking the Locust. As the Locusts are coming in, you come in with the Spellcaster, the Viper. The Locusts are tanking a bunch of damage. You throw down as many spells as possible. You get this damage on, even if it doesn't kill it. The repair costs money.
Yeah.
So he is gaining value with this.
Absolutely.
Locusts don't cost anything.
Yeah, the only thing he might want to be a little bit more cautious about is how the Banelings connect, because those do cost money, and if they don't do the damage they need to do, then that's like, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, you've lost him. But Rogue is looking to be in great shape, and he's basically, if you look at the mini-map, everybody,
man.
It's 3/4 creep.
I feel like I'm watching a game of Splatoon, and Purple is just killing it, man.
You know, it's it almost looks like it's like the Terran campaign or something, where you have to move out on the map and slowly kill all the Zerg stuff out there. Okay, he's coming in now, blinding clouds. You know, this might be a straightforward when we finish this all up, a very straightforward, long drawn-out win where Rogue just slowly eats through everything that INnoVation has. Because I'm looking at this game and I'm saying, what is INnoVation's actual plan here? Like, I don't think you can actually push out.
Well, these Vipers are really doing quite a nasty job against him, but he's increasing his Viking count. He's going into more and more siege tanks. We're seeing a little bit less on Hellions and Hellbats here. So I mean, I think that these are pretty good ideas, right? If you have like a very good range on all these units. So if you can kind of just start sniping some of his expensive units, keep these Locusts from all landing as well. Like, see, he's just targeted down a Viper and tries to target the second one, doesn't quite get it.
Yeah.
But look at that. Multiple blinding clouds go down, and he's losing Vikings.
I might have been drinking my coffee. This is brought up. Have we seen how much resources have been like lost essentially for both sides? Because I'm hoping eventually we pull that tab up, because that's sort of what this game specifically is about. Is like the never-ending problem of like, how is INnoVation going to get good trades? Now, INnoVation's actually finally pushing out. We're about 17 minutes into this game, and we're just now having him kind of begin to try to reclaim territory. It looks like this command center is going to go down as well.
Yeah.
All right.
That wasn't going to make it. That creep spread is just magnificent. More Locusts coming in. He does come up with the Vikings to try to pick some of these off. Actually losing him almost.
You know, it's funny because he's taken out enough Vikings, the Swarmos still come in and actually destroy a few tanks here. INnoVation, it's kind of funny where he's pushing. He's pushing sort of in the middle. I guess he wants to try to make sure that Zerg can't keep looping around him, which is what's been happening.
Those bottom two left bases, too, he's going to eventually have to get. Now, look at this. He's actually picking off some Vipers here. This is important, but that is a lot of blinding clouds. How many Vikings is he actually going to lose? Looks like he actually loses like 3 or 4 there. And
yeah.
I'm not sure how many Vipers he got. I think he got 1 or 2, so, I mean, the Vipers, they're a little bit more expensive, I guess, but gas-wise.
Okay. Once again, Rogue's going to try to come in here. And he's beginning to actually drive INnoVation back. And again, watch supplies when this stuff happens. Notice Rogue remaxes. INnoVation's at about 160. But then if you look at the resources, like look at the minerals and gas here for both sides. Rogue is balling. He's got so much money.
Yeah, he's doing really well.
Which means that he can like lose his army and then he just remakes it. Where INnoVation's sort of, I mean, he's starting to build up now. But after that initial attack, he was broke. So
he's even denying that command center landing with a Overlord dropping creep. Like, just Rogue is too much, man.
Yeah.
But there are Ravens on the way, so that is one way to try to get back into this. Ravens can be super, super cost efficient against Zerg.
We see the Swarm host now beginning to chip away here at the planetary. And it's kind of funny to say, but it seems like in a lot of ways the Swarm hosts are a really good direct response to a planetary. You know, unlike anything else Zerg really has.
Oh yeah, well, it costs nothing to...
It costs nothing, and it can be repaired, but they still do enough damage. You sometimes don't always save it as Terran. And it's not like if you make Banelings, and even if you can destroy it with Banelings, that's so much gas. Like, do you really want to try to take out that building that way?
They kind of counter everything that's slow. Yeah. And that includes buildings.
So I was saying a minute ago, do you really want to do that? The answer is yes. He just sent the Banelings in there. And that's going to shut down that base. This may be in part because Terran needs to get another base. This game's getting close to the 20-minute marker, and Terran is going to eventually run out of minerals.
Yeah, he's having a very hard time. He hasn't been remaxed in quite some time now, losing 25 SCVs there. I guess at this point, the SCVs aren't the most important thing. He's losing a lot of units, though, too.
Yeah. So they're coming down now once again. So this base over here, maybe the point of tension for at least the meanwhile in this game, as we really see that's the only place that's viable to last for a long time with those minerals. And obviously Rogue is aware of that, and we'll see if Rogue decides to play around that. Because, again, Rogue basically has most of the map. Like, INnoVation's pushed, like, this little, like, peninsula into the corner, bottom left side of the map, and that's where he's sucking up resources from. But Rogue's still kind of reign supreme. And now INnoVation's actually going to push.
Okay, well, these are coming over, but he might have point defense drones at this point, which definitely can help out quite a bit. And he throws them down, stopping a lot of his damage. That is so many blinding clouds, but there's not that many units here.
Yeah, well, he has a decent amount of blinding clouds that, you know, they don't last that long.
Yeah.
Maybe INnoVation's actually going to push through here.
Well, this is where those Ravens really come in so handy, preventing huge amounts of damage here, really kind of nullifying a lot of those locusts.
I think we might be to the point where INnoVation just Herculeses his way through the game, actually outlasting everything. The tanks are coming in now. Does Rogue have enough here?
Oh my
Lynx spilling
God,
in.
that is a lot of 3-3 Lynx.
Whoa.
Oh my God, he
like,
kills every siege tank with these.
I was wondering what his response is going to be. And, you know, you see that many tanks that died.
Jeez.
That took the whole game to make. Those tanks are being made. And those are just Lynx now. Now the counterattack is happening immediately. And it looks like this game's beginning to flip upside down.
Those Lynx just so efficiently taking out those siege tanks. And now, I mean, he's got, oh my God, a huge switch into mutas. 32.
Oh, dude.
3-3 mutas being made.
Oh, dude.
And suddenly 32 mutas.
Suddenly 32 mutas, Artosis.
This is just crazy right now. He's hunting down these storm hosts as well. He's got to wait for those mutas to actually get out. Now, the mutas are kind of funny. If he gets out some Thors and stuff, then they can get shredded still. But his anti-air in this army is very weak.
There was an illusion earlier that he might have a lead, but this unit composition is going to tear through here. There's like no anti-air at all.
This is exactly
everything INnoVation has. Look at the supplies now. Oh, there it is. Too late.
Dude.
GG. Whoa.
That is very much what we were talking about before, where after a big battle and supplies start to get reset, as Zerg, you look at it, what does he have, what doesn't he have?
Yeah.
He has units that kill units on the ground. His anti-air was really shredded for a long time. Bam! 32 mutas. That's a strategy, Tasteless.
So what happened there was the game got to a tension point. It built up to ground versus ground, right? INnoVation eventually mustered the strongest ground force in the game, but Rogue, he was frugal. He had enough money that when the big fight came and Rogue lost it, he just switched into all air and flipped that nerd.
Yeah. Look at the look on Rogue's face right now.
Well, you got to feel good with that. You're like, I beat.
Well, after that game, you know what he's thinking about? He's like, how much money is first place at BlizzCon after the war chest?
Yeah.
Because
he's thinking about how cool money is right now, for sure.
Right now, SOS is sitting at home. He's like, no! No! Again, I'm barely not going to make it.
There is this side story here where if Rogue wins this tournament, he goes to BlizzCon. If he doesn't, SOS goes.
Yeah, teammates too. It's
bittersweet. There's this whole sideshow happening. Anyways, we're going to game number 2. Let's do this. All right, in the upper left in the blue, he is
INnoVation.
Oh, we have a small clan of INnoVation fans somewhere in the studio. They're like the Yankees fans. That's the way I think of them. In the bottom right, in the red.
Jin Green Wings. Rogue.
Seems like a little bit more support for Rogue here in the audience.
You think so?
I mean, I don't know for sure. I should get one of those things that like measures the sound or the.
Oh yeah.
You know. They're both pretty low. I'm like, well, this guy got like a 0.6 and.
Rogue is expanding to innovation space.
Okay.
This is kind of interesting. I mean, it must be a roach rush, right?
Like, no, he's going for an economy game for sure. It's just, he just wants to be close to his opponent. No, I mean, I don't. Okay, yeah, well,
it has to be roach.
Okay,
like,
so
he'll go double gas in a little bit here.
This is why we make him play a best of 5, and then first to 3 wins moves on. Because if we had just one game, well, then it might be one strategy versus another, one play style versus another. But in 5 games, you have to bring out a variety of plays. And INnoVation, this time around, it looks like he's going for a pretty normal game, whereas. It's packed here. We got more seats, by the way. Thank you guys for waiting. We're out in the hall.
They just keep adding seats in here.
Yeah. We got to be careful. We're across the street from a fire station, so we can get in trouble if we don't do it right.
Well, I look at it the other way, Tasis. We can't get in trouble because the fire station will be here in like 2 minutes.
That's right. They can save us if we break capacity still. Okay, it's going to be a roach rush.
Yeah, not too surprised to see that.
Yeah. I wonder if INnoVation's going to be ready. So when I was talking about that best of 5 thing, This time, Rogue's completely gone for a switch game. He wants to smash INnoVation in a short rush game. And INnoVation doesn't know it's coming yet. That's why this Reaper's coming to scout and see if anything's abnormal.
Some macro plays from INnoVation, and when he gets there and sees that it's a Ro.4, man,
here we go.
he's gonna be pretty scared.
Dun, dun, dun. He knows. He's immediately turning around. Uh-oh, here come the two Lings. Gotta get that SCV. If the SCV moves in the right way, if Fortune's on Terran's side, that's how this works for Terran.
Oh man, a lot of SCVs coming down right now. He's gonna build that bunker at the bottom of the ramp. He really wants to hold this out front. The factory is about to finish, so we can see some Cyclones being made immediately here to help hold.
So, this is not something that you segue out of, by the way, as Zerg guys. You're not like, oh, that didn't work. Okay, I'll just make an expansion back at home. Especially not against INnoVation, but just a general rule of thumb is that this is all Rogue's chips are on the table right now.
They certainly are, and they are being put into these Ravagers now. This is going to be hard for INnoVation to end up holding.
Okay, so keep in mind, with the artillery here, if he gets enough Ravagers, you can't just repair the bunker in time. It gets blown up. So he's forcing a lid.
You can shoot those two to hit SCVs and the bunker.
Yeah.
Just make it very tricky for the Terran to micro. But holding it on that ground is kind of nice, because if you're on the ramp, things get a little bit clogged. He's going to be hitting your depots. You're going to be getting supply blocked.
Yeah.
Having to buy more of that. So I like the fact that he's down here aggressively trying to hold the low ground. It's a lot easier for him to micro his Cyclones here as well. Is he going to spine push? He's going to spine push with this?
Oh, I don't.
Oh
my God, but it's been intercepted.
Oh, man.
That was the coolest idea ever, but then the coolest interception of that. I wonder if INnoVation's experienced this exact rush. Yeah, but this Reaper is kicking ass over on the right side of the map. One-man army there.
Was he just transferring drones?
No. What, I mean,
he has drones mining at that base now. So, like, if he was going to spine rush, like, he would be making the spines there, right?
Okay, again, the Crocodile is hitting. Now it's the tank is the next thing he needs to try to get. Because the tank, wow, he's just out of tank range.
Yeah, I'm like, is that really what tank range is?
Yeah, I guess he's like one pixel
Those
out
were
of that.
stalkers, they would be hit right now.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you.
Now, what he wants to do is try to jump, or kind of poke in, and I think that's what you want to do, is poke in and hit the tanks with a corrosive bile and then back off again. All right, so remember when I was like talking about how all Rogue's chips on the table and this can't go to a normal game? Well, it's gone there now. But the thing is, the reason why Zerg like to be far away from the Terran is that they can, they have to have time to hold off a push. This is like,
I see what you're saying, but you have a very funny definition of normal tasteless. I guess that's because you're so weird, but...
what do I say that's wrong?
You didn't say anything that's wrong. It's just like, there's creep in front of his base. He's mining from right next to INnoVation.
Oh, no, I mean the fact that, like, we're going into... is he going all in
going
from
later
here?
game.
I don't know what the next
he's
play is.
He's taking his third. Like, Rogue is taking a third base right now.
So this is a macro game.
Kind of, yeah. Like, well, he's still making units. He's still going to be attacking, but he's also like, well, you know, I'll expand too. Well, not sure what happened there. 3 siege tanks, though, is pretty good against this.
Okay, the tanks are edging out now.
Quite a few Lings and Ravagers being made.
Can you?
Oh,
sick!
Sick
okay,
move.
Takes out 1.
That's
3 tanks.
A lot of Ravagers. And he's only showing 3.
Yeah, it's smart. He wants me to think there's only 3 here. He's like, oh, I can hold my base.
Yeah,
now, wait for it.
Ooh, nerds overextended.
Surprise! He's coming out. He wants the Lings to block here.
That's right. Look at that.
Oh, that was a really smart play. Oh, he needs to get back.
Yeah, doesn't want to be losing too many Ravagers here to the siege tanks.
Okay, now you see INnoVation's pulling back with those tanks.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, from the Terran's natural, can you hit the gas base for where the Zerg is
the
at?
gas? I think you might be able to.
Okay,
Actually,
hold
I've
up.
never seen it,
He's pouncing now. And it looks like this is all going to go down. Somehow this tank is still alive.
Oh, whoa! The bunker lives. That is the most clutch repair right there.
Okay, he's coming in again. He's not finished. He wants to end this right here, right now. And he's actually targeting down the SCV's clumps. Is this bunker going to live?
20 SCVs going down, but the bunker does go down. Still, the Ravager count has been, really hurt quite a bit here.
Yeah, that's true. For just a split second when that bunker was blowing up, Rogue actually scratched his nose. I nearly had a heart attack. I'm like, get your hand back on the mouse, man. I think that this actually, even though this rush went on a lot longer than it looked like, Terran needs to get this base. There's 25 dead SCVs so far.
Yeah, Rogue does not have that many drones. He's on 27, but he does have 3 hatches at 3 different bases.
Yeah. Okay, so there's nothing down here. By the way, Stim just finishing, so that shows you how crucial that attack was. Terran has Stim, it might be a completely different story.
He also has 1-1 on the way, so I mean, if INnoVation lasts a little bit longer against someone that's just making Ling Roach, Ravager, you know, then he can take this game still, absolutely.
Okay. Terran has to scramble and recoup the losses here. I want to point out, too, just real quick here, that CC is at half health. The command center's at half health.
That's true, yeah.
And that might not matter this game, but if another attack comes in and he has enough Ravagers, he can possibly one-shot it while it's trying to run away.
That would be pretty big.
Yeah.
A lot of units coming across the map as well.
Okay, so as you were saying, 1-1 about to finish, and that's going to happen, it looks like, before any attack from Rogue.
And with Stim and this many Marines, a Sea Chink on high ground, I mean, maybe he can hold on. That is a lot of Ravagers, though, coming in. He has that high ground vision, just killing the Siege Tanks in a matter of seconds.
Oh, he's holding this, it looks like. Oh, actually, Rogue thinks otherwise.
That is a lot of Ravagers
he has
still.
to stay out of where the Corrosive Biles are being shot at. Now, the SCVs are being pulled. This is already a win in another way for the Zerg, as he's going to shoot down any workers. By the way, it's actually even workers at this point in time. INnoVation's going for it. He's bursting out. Oh, my God.
That's some good micro right there. He even brought up the Spore because he knew something like this would end up happening. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Does he just get this base now?
Yeah, I think so. 20 SCVs for INnoVation. It's 27 from Rogue, but he's going to lose a clump of them right here. He has 2 bases at home, but GG is called.
Rogue was about to take him out. INnoVation burst out at the exact right time. That was crazy. Great game.
Yeah. Well, this series so far, these guys are just really showing you what top of the world TVZ can look like.
Had INnoVation lost it, I think he for sure would have lost the series, but I think he's still got a chance now. But Rogue, that was pretty scary considering he did that crazy all-in.
Yeah,
he was moments away from winning that game.
Totally.
It's funny because right at the end, when that came out, we saw so many SCVs die. They were actually even on workers at the very end there.
Yeah.
It was 26-26.
He was going pretty crazy there with having the 3 hatches at 3 different bases, but sitting there at less than 30 workers, just non-stop Ling Roach Ravager. All right, Whirlwind going to be our next map.
Yeah. This is a big map. Doesn't mean we have to have a long game, but it usually ends up like that. Again, this is a best of 5. The winner goes on to the finals of the GSL Super Tournament. All right, let's go.
GSL Super Tournament Season 2.
In the upper right, in the blue.
INnoVation.
In the bottom right, in the red, he is.
Generic Green Wings. Rogue.
There he is, scratching his cheek again, Artosis.
One of our itchy cheek players.
I think it was the last Super Tournament we were at where they did we had him in like a kind of like octagon UFC fighting cage in the middle.
Yeah.
And we did that panning shot, and I pointed out, I'm like, this is the moment where he's going to scratch his nose. He does, and then he did it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like right at the start of the game.
You're good.
Well, I'm glad we got more seats in here for everybody.
No one's standing?
I think
just you and I.
Some people opting to stand in the back, but I think nobody's forced.
I mean, they could sit on the ground if they want.
Okay. You could lay down on the ground. I don't know if it would stop you.
Probably not.
Thanks for coming down, guys. This has been really cool because we're having a lot of the same people come down every day for this 4-day tournament.
Yeah.
Very rarely have we had somebody who's been here for every day of like a GSL Code S.
Yeah.
Because unless you live
even
here.
You and I.
Yeah, it's true. We'll get sick or we'll have to go home or something. But the fact that we've had the same people coming down and watching the story unfold is super cool as well. So on this map, they're both hugging the right side of the map. I'm probably going to be wrong because it's Rogue, but I don't think we're going to have this be a game where all the expansions are going to be taken and it's going to come down to one. This map's pretty big.
It is quite gigantic, and especially when you have to start expanding way far away towards the left. That can get a little bit tricky, I think, especially for INnoVation and upholding all of those. I mean, you can make a planetary, but that only does so much when the economies are huge.
Yeah.
So once again, Rogue going with the gas pool hatchery opener, very much like we've seen from Dark so many times. I love that INnoVation just consistently has a Marine out. He's done with these nerds killing his SCV that's making the command center.
Yeah, he's not having any more of that. So, you know, ideally, if you're a Zerg player, you'd want to be in the diagonal spots. You want to be as far away as possible, as a general rule of thumb, from the Terran. But sharing the right side of the map in some ways allows Zerg to sort of expand further left. It's not as easy on this map, but as a general rule, you kind of end up expanding away, and Terran at times tries to push into the bottom right main and just, instead of killing all your bases, kill all your tech. It's not always that way, but that's just one way to make it better for you guys to look at and conceptualize.
So,
hold up.
speed.
Is he going to get this? Okay, good thing INnoVation was paying attention.
That would be a super good kill.
Yeah. Well, that happens sometimes, you know, even in the most important games, man.
Double starport. Ooh, I'm excited. We could be seeing another one of these crazy Banshee plays going down. You remember this? The Hyperflight Rotors build that he was using a lot against Dark? Oh, man. What a great day.
Yeah. Oh, hold up.
But he has speed overlords. So you can't hide it that well. Well, he put it way behind the minerals, so it's actually hard to see.
Actually, yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go a little bit further. I mean, seeing that second start port isn't exactly where's Waldo, man. I mean, you just get there and you're like, oh my God, he's going for that.
Well, if he doesn't know that he's doing that, that's definitely a little bit of an edge to INnoVation.
You know, what's funny about this is that this sneaky build from INnoVation is harder to spot. I mean, you don't immediately think, well, that looks fine, but what about a second starport? That's not what you do in a normal game.
As far as the money goes, like, you know,
everything there in that screenshot looked normal.
Yeah. It's like all at the right time. His second starport is the one that's hidden right now. I mean, within a few moments, you got to be like, okay, is he going for another command center? Where is he going with this?
Yeah.
More barracks, whatever it is. Okay, Hyperflight Rotors on the way. Banshee speed. A Roach Warren coming up here for Rogue. Probably the least useful thing you could have against mass Banshees would be Roaches.
Yeah, especially with the supply they take up too. I'm not sure what the right number is that he wants to send out the Banshees, because you only have one moment to surprise them. Yeah. That's why this Viking is coming out first, to try to drive any Overlords back. Yeah. Because every second that you know that the Banshees are coming is important. So what he wants to do is like almost like pop out of the floorboards with these Banshees and start killing stuff immediately.
Pop out of the floorboards. They're flying. That's like the last thing they'd ever do.
That'd be even scary. They hover out. It's whoa, how'd you get under there? Okay. He knows. So there's no reason for INnoVation to wait any further. Let's see where the Banshees are on the map now.
Mass spores going down at the moment.
Yeah.
He does have Roach speed on the way. The Roaches will help to hold off all of these Hellions that are being produced as well, but this will certainly be going into a mech-style play from INnoVation.
Yeah, well, it's too hard to transition, I think, into anything else.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't get stim here unless you're Gumiho playing against Protoss, probably. I don't know. Hydralisk Den on the way. Cloak going to be coming up for these Banshees as well.
Now, there's a reason why we don't always see this, is because if it doesn't do enough damage right away, you're behind. So let's see if INnoVation can actually start to pull that damage off. That being said, the Banshees do have utility a lot later on in the game, too.
Yeah.
But
and just
in mid-game, it's sort of just,
you can't really catch them when they have speed and cloak, right?
Yeah.
Like, spells will eventually end up catching them, and like as they're flying towards your base, you can kind of corner them and stuff, but they are seriously fast here. So at this point in the game, the best you can do really is to defend against them.
Okay, here come the Hellbats pushing up here. Now, there should be enough Roaches that this won't be the end of the world, but with the Banshees comboed with the Roaches, the Hellbats might be able to skirt in and actually start to kill some workers, immediately gutting down that Queen.
Man, those Banshees definitely helping out quite a bit right there.
Okay, moving over here to this expansion.
Look at these Banshees, man, but that Speed Overseer definitely helping out quite a bit.
That's
keeping
right.
them revealed as much as is possible.
By the way, he stopped making Banshees, so we're going to see the number of this slow down a little bit. For a second, he thought he was a Cyclone. He could actually just kill off the Spore, too.
A little bit of a counterattack coming up here by Rogue. This can force those Banshees back home as well, which is kind of nice, but they will get their lickety-split.
A more basic attack here from Rogue, but just as effective. Driving away these workers for the time being. The Banshees have to come up and try to protect this.
And of course, INnoVation, you know, getting into all of his tech at this point. The Infestation Pit is coming up for Rogue, and what we've seen people do previously against this build, and specifically Dark, is to get up to Vipers very, very quickly. Because you've made this many Banshees, you are going to be a little bit behind on things like Vikings and Siege Tanks. So, if you can hit a very sharp Viper timing, we have seen INnoVation fall to that in the past. Some blinding clouds going down on the Siege Tanks if they're clumped at all. Sometimes you just see you know, a little bit of yanking going on, and with those later Siege Tanks, that can be a problem.
Okay, Zerg's continuing to grow. I'm wondering what Rogue is feeling right now, because I don't think he was really expecting the Banshee play. But is he happy with this? Is he thinking, oh, good, I didn't want to play a normal, like, you're actually now forcing to go into that late game, which is where I tend to shine.
That is true. This is a great weapon for Terran against late game Zergs, though. It's like, you look at a map this big, right? If those Banshees go over to the left side of the map, they are going to be able to pick off bases pretty quickly. In fact, this is something that back when Ryung was absolutely one of the top Terrans for a little bit, like when he was really having a great time earlier this year, he was going mech and then just speed Banshees late game to pick off hatcheries for Zerg. So
yeah,
that's definitely a decent tool here for INnoVation to try to deal with that.
So, with Terran hunkering down for the time being, this allows Rogue to get these swarm hosts over here. Like we saw in game 1, it's the same idea. INnoVation got there in a different way, but we're sort of in the same scenario. So, I'm sorry, what just happened there? I got the tail end of that.
He was launching these in to try to get some damage on tanks and stuff, and 2 SCVs randomly came down and the Locusts all dived off. So, those 2 SCVs truly did a great job.
Now, with the swarm hosts, he can keep walking around the edges, and that's also why we see a sensor tower made here for the Terran, and trying to take out any of these units that cost gas for these free Locusts. Uh-oh! So you're going to go for these swarm hosts. Looks like there's enough Hydras here to defend this. And he's going to actually sneak the swarm host back up as that army's been driven away.
A ton of upgrades here. A lot of links being made as well as Baneling speed, so this is kind of interesting to see.
Is he going to get this? No, these Hydras are going to come down. You got to be careful, though, because if you leave those Banshees unattended, the hatchery will eventually heal, but it doesn't heal that fast.
that is true.
You can sometimes
eventually
have a moment.
Could end up picking that off.
Yeah, which is huge.
I love what he's doing, though, right? The Hydras have to run around all the terrain, even if they're on creep. Yeah, they're quick, but it takes a while. Now, the Banshees just turn around and go elsewhere.
Yeah.
So he's kind of forcing Rogue into different positions here. Of course, the
I got a number for you,
are,
Artosis.
Yeah? 27.
27 Banelings are being made right now. They are all hatching. Let's see what he does with them. He actually might try to collide them in. And this might be the first real committed attack here from the Zerg. Zerg's sort of been on the defense or harassing the whole time.
Vikings on the way right now. Siege Tanks being set up all over the place. Baneling speed is going to finish here momentarily.
Oh, there's a good angle.
It's a Zerg barbecue right there.
Oh my god, he's going to win that fight?
Dude, blue flame.
Ooh, wow. DBQ'd. So, I honestly, INnoVation's done a really good job this game. I think it's going much better for him. But we're getting to that point where they're maxed out. Again, look at how much money's been saved up here. Rogue is maxed out and has 1,000 minerals and about 1.5k gas. And that should go up. Well, Terran's initiating now, so let's see how this next exchange goes. Hold up. Lots of Banelings spilling in here, but not exactly connecting the way you'd want them to.
Well, I gotta say, I kind of like the fact that he clears out all those Hellbats very, very quickly.
That's
that allows
true, actually.
Everything else to get through.
And he's got 36 links on the way.
Yeah.
You're totally right. I stand corrected. Because this is what we saw happen in the last game.
Well, the Hellbats are just such a good meat shield, but when you don't have them anymore, the Siege Tanks have nothing to actually protect them against things like
guess
Link.
in some ways,
but look, INnoVation pulling back, he knows
he's smart.
this trick. He is not going to fall for that.
He's not going to repeat game 1.
By the way, I do want to mention that the Hive just finished, so obviously this was not any sort of Viper Rush, just getting that early on so that he could get the Swarm hosts out. But right now, INnoVation, you know, he's got a very healthy amount of Vikings and Siege Tanks, so it doesn't seem like he can die anytime soon, but I like this strategy by Rogue. Once again, adding a lot of Banelings in here, and if INnoVation tries to attack again, get rid of that meat shield and see if you can kill the tanks. But INnoVation, he's smartened up. He's pulled back. He's sitting here on 4 bases, macroing up, and I don't think Rogue can do much damage other than little pokes and swarm hosts.
Okay. The depots are burning down, but that's going to get repaired here. No real dent for Terran in as far as the main bases he's getting. This base in the center right, maybe the climax again here. Because if you look at the left side of the map, the very, very top center base, that's actually pretty hard to take for Terran.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, Zerg, it's not easy for Zerg to get to, but it is very tough for Terran to hold that. So, and this happens on maps that are this big, because instead of it being split in half, the Terran kind of is in a quadrant.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I mean, anything could happen in a StarCraft game, so you could end up with Terran trying to hold other bases elsewhere, but as a general rule, it gets a lot harder for INnoVation the longer this game goes on. And all I think Rogue has to do is just bleed off these units as much as he can, particularly the tanks and anything else that costs gas. And really what Rogue's doing is saying, this is your problem now. Figure out how to finish this game, because if it goes on for too long, I'm going to be too big.
These are great volleys that he's sending down right now, and INnoVation's going to try to take that as his 5th base, that 12 o'clock expansion. Probably going to make a planetary there, but the thing is, if Rogue wants to, if you make a planetary, Zerg can kill it. They make the banelings, they roll in, they kill it.
If the game goes on for that long, then yeah, they have too many resources at their disposal. I mean, Rogue is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. He's not skipping leg day, Artosis. He is going to have the bottom left corner of the map entirely.
That attack not working out too well, but another set of locusts coming up here into this 3rd base location.
Oh! Jumps right up there. But again, these other buildings are being taken out. He's not mining for them. The meanwhile, whenever that has to lift. And really, oh, hold up. That top center base is being taken.
Yeah.
Let's see if Zerg checks there right away.
Well, I think he might have even seen the command center going over, so I imagine that he's going to check for it here. INnoVation's still holding on to all of his bases. Double Spire on the way. A bunch of Vipers being made as well. Finishing up that melee +3 attack upgrade here for Rogue, who already has 3/3 on everything else. Ooh, losing quite a few Hydras right there.
So we've seen INnoVation kind of holding on here. We have only seen that one push where he was driven back. Again, I want to point out the resources here. INnoVation not quite maxed out, and he's continuing to spend his money. Rogue's maxed out and is now almost to 3K minerals, and he's at about 2K gas. That's a lot, man.
Oh, this is kind of interesting. There's actually a few Cyclones being made. I wonder if he's going to go try to snipe a base with those. When Cyclones have +3, they will eat a hatchery in like 2 seconds. So, because I can't imagine, what else is he going to use the Cyclones for at this point?
I have no idea. Yeah, I think
he's certainly not going to lock onto Locust to kill him.
Yeah, exactly. So, wait, are we going to have this top base attacked up here? This is super important.
Yeah, he's coming in for the kill.
This is going to go down. So as you can see, this is actually, even though it looks close on the map, it's just hard for Terran to get to and protect. Whoa!
Great parasitic bombs, rather, going down there. That's a funny animation.
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess the animation drops down when there's not something under it. That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's again Terran locked in the quadrant. Zerg has completely surrounded him. Although there's not much of an army in the top area, it's kind of a no man's land for the Terran as well.
And he's just keeping the Cyclones in his army right now, so these could be helping out against Banelings as well. They're not going to do as much damage against them.
Okay.
But this is pretty scary, man. He's having to deal with these Locusts. They're coming in right now.
All right, here come the Banes now. Let's see how they actually connect up here. There's a lot of Thors, a lot of tanks, and Rogue supplies dropping. We've got 34 Lings on the way as it's happening, more Banelings, but you got to be careful. Sometimes Terran has an army that's big enough that nothing stops it.
Yeah, but with a lot of Lings coming in as well, I'm a little bit worried. If you blinding cloud all of this, and then the Lings run in, he's not going to be able to stop it. Oh my God, these parasitic bombs just devastating the Vikings.
Oh my God, I think INnoVation might be walking into a trap. In fact, Rogue actually wants them to come this deep because you can't run out. There's no escape.
That is true. He is so deep on creep right now.
This is a haunted house right now for the Terran, man. This is... Okay, here we go. He wants the Locust to come in first. The Lings, the Banelings coming later.
All right, a lot of blinding clouds going down. He's losing his Vipers at the moment. Definitely a big deal to look at there, but a ton of siege tanks end up falling.
80 more Lings. And once again, after that whole fight, Zerg's already maxed out again. 80 Lings!
That is a lot of lings. That is 40 larvae. Look, 92 lings in production right now. He's making spines. He has hatcheries all over. Look at that creep spread. INnoVation on 4 bases. Having a hard time,
I think if INnoVation can't push in here and do any damage, he might tap out.
Yeah.
And I think INnoVation's probably aware that this could happen. He doesn't know that the exact resources are. Oh, wait, is he going to go for a counterattack? I guess, or is he going to want to go for a surround? Yeah, maybe a flank or a surround here. I thought for a second. It seemed a little bit weird.
He's coming in. He's going to erase these siege tanks.
Oh, my God.
And INnoVation has no chance after this.
Here of Rogue is just too good. INnoVation below 100 supply. Processing this information, lands a mule there. GG. Whoa.
Rogue up 2-1 right now, looking completely unstoppable. Yeah, INnoVation won a game, but it was one in which Rogue did an all-in. So, I don't know, man. Mech Depot coming up. The mech map itself.
Is he supposed to not be going mech here? It doesn't seem like it's working.
Well, the thing is, if you're going bio, Zerg goes Lingbane Hydra, and it's very difficult to get any damage in. They can kind of keep you pushed back. In my opinion, it feels like you have to hit a siege tank timing attack or something, and then like if they just barely hold it, then they have a ton of ultras, and like you didn't go into ghosts because you're buying all these siege tanks. You have a hard time. So I feel like that's a big part of the reason that we're seeing so much mech here. The giant maps are very difficult to attack across.
INnoVation looking not his usual self, normally a little bit expressionless, but you know, he wants to close out this last StarCraft 2 tournament in Korea for the year on a high note, but suddenly Rogue is the guy.
He really is.
What did Mugatu say? That's Rogue. He's so hot right now. I mean, he's really showing us this next. I mean, it's almost like Rogue solved the game or something. You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that is what it looks like.
He solved the game, but he still has the balls to all in you in game 2. That's what it is.
Well, to be fair, that's a map where Terrence put a bunch of tanks in that middle high ground, and it can be a little bit difficult. So I understand why he even did that there. And Mech Depot.
You think INnoVation's going to take Mech Depot? I don't think so, personally.
No, I think Rogue's finishing him off, man. I told you, Rogue's winning BlizzCon, dude.
Here we go. Game number 4. INnoVation versus
GSL
Rogue.
Super Tournament Season 2.
Psych! We're not starting.
We paused.
I got you.
All the momentum's gone. Hold up. Somebody, was it Rogue who paused? Yeah, Rogue paused for some reason.
Yeah, no doubt.
So after we had all those
sort of sound issue.
GSL Season 2. The music's playing. We're zooming in on their faces. No.
Okay.
We'll get this sorted out. And this is now, you know what our show feels like without music, by the way, in case you guys are wondering. It's a lot weirder.
You need that background noise.
Yeah, there we go. They put on some music for us. That's better. Usually this is just something like I need my monitor raised, or it was okay. I was just informed there was some problem with one of his earplugs. We're getting it fixed. We got backup everything here at the studio, man. Backup PCs, keyboards.
Got Tasus the backup caster.
And we should have this sorted out pretty quickly. And hopefully we'll go right into this. Definitely a tense moment for both the players where, you know, you're ready. Yeah. Rogue knows he's 1 win away, but oh man, I'm not going to play with this. Something wrong with my earpiece in my ear. So we have INnoVation in the upper right. And in the bottom left, in the red,
Jin Air Green Wings, Rogue.
INnoVation not really playing cheesy at all today, by the way. Remember against Dark, he was definitely mixing some in at least.
Well, it's kind of a funny situation because we're so used to thinking of INnoVation as like the guy who plays the proper game and wins in the long run, but not this time around. Now it just seems like Rogue is somebody who knows how to handle it a little bit better. So I don't know what INnoVation's supposed to do. Is he? Are you saying he's supposed to be trying some kind of cheese or all in? Or
I wouldn't mind seeing some sort of aggressive play out of him.
Okay.
The thing is, Rogue is very good at defending. The maps are very big.
Yeah.
And with Rogue's openings that he's been doing, he just keeps doing Dark Spill, where it's like, I can't die early on with this, you know? You get the gas pool hatch, and with quick Overlord speed, you're not gonna kill anybody, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, here's another question then. Do you think we're actually going to have any mech here? Or you think for sure he's going to go mech?
I think he'll probably go mech, yeah. Playing this map with Bio, like, look how long of a walk that is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I guess I've been casting INnoVation for so long. Excuse me. I'm so used to seeing him win with those bio pushes, but you might be right. I mean, if Rogue is that good against classic TVZ, I mean, do you really want to play that kind of game?
It's just in general, Lingbane Hydra is tough for people to deal with.
Yeah.
I guess if you're a Zerg player, you just make roaches, but the other two races are like, that's pretty tough.
The reason why it's so tough is because the damage output is so fast that even if you have a strong army, it might only fire once or twice before it's gone.
You know how to fix that? Just give Terran oracles. There you go.
Yeah. Flying robot oracles.
Yeah.
They look like cyclones upside down.
It looks like INnoVation going to play a little bit greedier this game. I like it. It's a big map. Going for that very fast third command center. And Rogue, of course, playing very safe, right? He's going for that speed quickly, going for Overlord speed quickly, so he'll be able to scout this, but it's going to be too late for him to turn on aggression to punish it when this Overlord finally gets in here. So INnoVation definitely going to get away with this quick expand.
Looks like that should be far out enough. Zerg's not exactly privy to that information. Really? Okay.
That's funny.
He left it open, so now he knows.
All right. All the information belongs to Rogue.
Well, I can only imagine INnoVation's heart sinking when that got in. I mean, that's...
Well, he still can't really be punished. Like, Rogue is just droning. He knows, like, at this point, if you were already doing something aggressive, then, okay, maybe you can do it. But how long the map is and all that, scouting it this late when it's finishing up. Rogue is just going to continue to drone up here. His third base going to be a little bit late in comparison to INnoVation's. And INnoVation, he's going into bioplay. All right, let's see it.
Yeah, he is going to go for the classic TVZ style. You know, this makes me think of the game we saw with... I am actually... A lot of the seasons for me in GSL kind of blur together sometimes, but where we saw Maru trying to go Reapers like Beyond was.
Oh, yeah.
And it just wasn't working, so he switched back into a normal game
and then
won
won.
that. Yeah, he just did what he was good at.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're seeing here from INnoVation is he's going to stick with what he knows, not what he practiced leading up to this, because for the vast majority of INnoVation's career, he's won with bio pushes.
Well, Rogue has shown that he is just masterful against mech, even when you get yourself into a decent position, like we saw INnoVation kind of do on Abyssal Reef. Rogue can shut it down. So I like that he has just played a little bit greedy. He's given himself a head start with that quick third command center.
Yeah.
So he can go into this bio, double eBay, and just like really macro it out, see if he can take Rogue down in a game like this. I think that this is a really good call by INnoVation.
So, droning up continues for Rogue as he wants to scramble to get into the phase of the game where he has that exact right worker amount. Upgrades going down right now for INnoVation. He needs to have a range attack, armor. He needs stim. He needs to keep making enough medevacs that he can actually start to push out. And stim finishing right now means we may see the first actual attempted engage here by INnoVation.
Yeah, once those medevacs are out, definitely can try to push a little bit and see what he can get done. I mean, the most he should be able to get done at this point is maybe push back or slow down some creep tumors. Rogue is going to be too on top of things to really take too much damage. But at least INnoVation, and I like this third base location, by the way, kind of like within his rally, right? He can be aggressive and somewhat defend this with that play. But, Rogue, he's just getting his Baneling speed, making his Lings, going up into Hydras, and after they get to a certain amount of Lingbane Hydra, the bio play just doesn't pay anymore. Like, you have a very hard time actually engaging that.
Okay, he's coming out now. Now, a lot of times in the past, we've seen INnoVation, what he does with this style is he unloads, kills off as many Lings as he can, and right when he thinks he's going to lose anything, he picks up and moves somewhere else and does it again. And sometimes, even against the best players in the world, we've seen it snowball. Look at that, targets down everything, perfect. That did not lose one unit. We've seen games where he's done this 4 or 5 times and killed off enough units, he suddenly just attacks in there and wins the game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen this time around, but be ready for it if it does.
The meta has shifted a little bit. Like, his creep spread's already so far out there.
Very true.
The fact that he's going into Hydras as opposed to, like, eventual Mutas is going to make it harder to just kill him as well. But these are great moves.
That's what I was talking about. It's the targeting there on those Banelings, and he identifies the exact moment where the losses for him begin to become exponential and picks up and just does it again. He's so good at this.
Look at this efficiency thus far. Just huge by INnoVation. But Baneling speed is done, so it's getting harder and harder for him. Hydralisk's on the way. The Hydralisk upgrade on the way. A 4th base on the way. Rogue is finding his stride right now, but INnoVation is adding a second factory.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what we were talking about a lot earlier on. If you are playing against this, that bio is going to have a hard time. But if you can hit a very strong tank push, if you can get there before the Ultras are out and really active, then you can still take this out.
Very true. Rogue continues to grow, and I think with the tech that we have up here, it's going to be a little bit harder for just with that one set of medevacs to come out and try to do damage. So we see a second one coming here, and this gets harder on both sides as Terran's going to try to harass on 2 different fronts. And it's super unforgiving for the Terran too, with Banelings in the game. If you're like, got your screen in the wrong spot, everything just dies. So he's gonna come out over here. So he's doing this on 2 different fronts.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit done, but as the Hydra's pushing back, it's hard to really push too much. The infestation pit's on the way, so he should be going straight up towards Ultralisks. Obviously, like, infestors are good units. You're not going to want to swarm host here. They aren't that good against bio play, really.
Yeah.
But if he can get up into those Ultras, that's the scary point for INnoVation.
Okay, here we go now. These Marines coming down again. Now he wants to see that. That's what he wants to do. If a Baneling doesn't, excuse me, if a Baneling does not connect effectively, oh God.
And then
okay, that's the end of this.
Nothing was worth it.
Nothing, yeah. Well, the idea was there. What I wanted to point out was he just targets the Banelings, because you need the Banelings to connect. They cost so much gas and everything. They don't connect as bad, so he just shoots that down and picks up.
But losing your 2 medevacs, that is not what you were looking to do here.
No.
Now look, he's got 2-2. He's got a very nice amount of siege tanks. This might be the timing that he's looking for at this point.
That's right.
Tons of Lings being produced. 2-2, a little bit off here for Rogue. A little bit later.
Okay. Kind of a quiet before the storm here.
Yeah.
We have Rogue getting absolutely terrifyingly big. We see the upper left is being acquired, as well as the expansion adjacent to the Zerg's main, to the right of that.
INnoVation's 4th is going up.
INnoVation is similar to some of the other games we've seen in one quadrant of the map.
Yeah.
There's basically one other base INnoVation easily takes, and that's the one adjacent to his main.
It's very hard for Terran to hold on to extra bases in this type of situation. Other than the ones that he can stim to in like 2 seconds.
Right.
Okay, I'm getting nervous. Okay, there we
go. Here we go.
Finally, it's starting.
It's happening now.
This push is going to decide the game.
Yeah. It's going to come down to this. We're going to see if we go to Game 5 or if Rogue crushes the player everybody is saying is the best in the world.
Well, right now, Rogue is coming around. It looks like he's setting up for a massive flank here. That is a lot of siege tanks, though.
Oh, dude, the tanks are unattended. The tanks are completely unattended. Oh, my God.
Okay, he gets out of here with a lot of the Marines.
Whoa.
More Marines coming up. The siege tanks eliminating a lot of Lings and Banes here.
Oh, he just shut down a huge chunk of the very important units, mainly the tanks there. Now he's dropping elsewhere. Interestingly enough, INnoVation's actually ahead in supply. So this might mean INnoVation still has momentum.
Well, he is still continuing to push, and there are no time to get Ultralisks out. So we see Vipers being made right now. Some Blinding Clouds definitely can be very, very helpful in situations like this.
INnoVation wants to keep going forward. He's going to reassemble his army. He wants to make sure this does as little damage as possible. And that's exactly what happens. Coming forward right now, letting the Changelings go by. There's no time to waste.
Oh, pushing forward right now. Those Banelings rolling up towards these Marines. He's going to get some great connections there.
Oh my
That
God,
was a good
he's
engage.
not stopping. But is this army too small, too brittle to keep pressing forward? We need reinforcements to get here right away.
It might be a lot of Lings coming up, getting on top of absolutely everything. They do have 2-2 at this point. The Hydra's pushing in, dealing some damage as well, but INnoVation continues to rally down.
Okay, Stimming coming forward, and Blinding Clouds come down. Is it too late, though? You know, if the Hydras are getting gunned down, usually Hydras alone facing infantry, it's not a good thing. INnoVation just barely has enough. There's these basic units coming out for Circus trying to hold on. He takes the tank out. It looks like he's starting to push this back.
God, his medevacs all getting very low. Almost no health, almost no energy.
They're basically paperweights at this point in time. They're not actually really healing much of anything. Which
pretty bad paperweights because they fly, but yeah.
The stims, though, are not going to be healed fully every time he does it. INnoVation is committed. By the way, INnoVation ahead in supply. Rogue is barely hanging on here.
This rally is just so massive right now. The Vipers are out there trying to help. The Hydra's having a hard time breaking through here by themselves.
Good pickup there with the medevac, shuffling the tank back. INnoVation regrouping. Did he overextend earlier? Oh, he's coming in.
Sick Micro there picking up those siege tanks, keeping them alive.
Taking the medevacs out in the back.
Just huge production coming out of INnoVation, but if he gives Rogue a moment to breathe, he can make more banelings.
Well, at this point in time, both these players trying to catch their breath. INnoVation backs off, says, okay, I think my army might have thinned out a little bit. I don't know if he's right, though. Again, a much bigger overall army supply for INnoVation. Rogue somehow hanging on by a thread.
INnoVation deciding to come down here and expand.
Oh, wow. He's completely backed off. He's actually just going to land that expansion. He wants to make sure he can get that last final base that's, I guess we could say, easily accessible to him as a Terran player. Then he wants to regroup and start attacking. He's afraid of counterattacks.
And look at this. As he backs off, that Ultralisk Cavern comes down. That's going to be the really scary transition here for Rogue. If he gets those Ultralisks out with their chitinous plating, this army cannot deal with it. He will be forced to go into Ghosts.
Yeah. Okay. Push coming over here in the upper left. We have a lot more Banelings coming out. Now, Zerg wants to attack at the last possible second, and so we wish for the hatchery to soak some more of those hits. Is INnoVation's position good enough? Blinding Clouds now coming down.
Fantastic Blinding Clouds, but I don't know if that'll be enough.
That's like not very many Hydras. For more Banelings coming here. Again, this foothold goes all the way to the upper right side of the screen.
More
INnoVation may be doing it here, man. A drop elsewhere as well.
Just ridiculously good play out of INnoVation. Pulling back once again. So many Lings actually flooding in right now. Some yanks on these tanks.
Wow, that rhymes.
He says thanks because he kills them both.
And I think the push has been held. I think actually Rogue stabilizes. Look at that, the hatchery at almost no hit points, almost dead. I can't believe he held that.
Crazy.
Rogue's been hanging on with about 130 supply against a maxed out Terran.
Yeah, he's been way down in supply this entire time, but he is making it work right now. Somehow he's still alive, has those extra bases, but INnoVation's macro is not slipping. Ultralisks starting to be produced.
A lot more Banelings being added in here as well.
Yeah, no chitinous plating. That is a really important upgrade right now.
INnoVation shifting gears here, going to go for a drop, as it doesn't look like pushes are any more effective. Rogue is expanding again, by the way. The moment you give this kid an inch of room, he is so explosive in growth. It's insane.
Yeah, he's still got great creep spread going on as well here. INnoVation just staying on the same set of units. 5 Ultras are on the way. Those are going to help. I mean, chitinous plating or not, they deal a lot of damage. They have a lot of health. They definitely can get in there and deal some damage. So I'm feeling a little bit scared for INnoVation as this game goes longer.
Okay, the push continues on. We have a fight down here, but it looks like this expansion at the top is going to go down.
The Baneling's not being as efficient as he wants. That little attack over here, though, has the Ultralisks involved, so he does push INnoVation back over here. But INnoVation, he's sitting here on 5 bases right now. A lot of them getting mined out, but he continues to push forward. The Ultralisk coming out. He has got to evacuate.
This is a crazy game here. INnoVation, once again, regrouping. That seems to be a big theme with him. He'll push in far, but when he decides it's time to reorganize, he will do it. We've seen a lot of Terran players who won't do that. They're kicking ass, and then they get too far in, and everything just falls apart, and they get swallowed up by the army. He's going to now, it looks like, push through. I think it's that center left base on the minimap.
Well, he can't split armies anymore. Against these Ultras, he's got to go Deathball style. Poking just a little bit here, controlling where Zerg has to go. All of his siege tanks in one army.
Zerg didn't engage before the siege tanks are up. This is actually really hard for Zerg to hit. Look where those tanks are. They're like in a really nice spot.
He needs his Vipers to come in and work overtime on those blinding clouds.
Rogue's buying time. Rogue is not maxed out this game. INnoVation is.
Kindness plating still not done. Rushing forward right now. The blinding clouds start to come down on those siege tanks. Beautifully done. He has to retreat a bit. The Ultra's getting on top of these siege tanks.
But is it enough though? The few more Lings are coming up here. Only 2 more tanks in the back. Meanwhile, a drop over here could get this hatchery. I think INnoVation may have done it, man.
Just magnificent
I think he's going to get this hatch. Gone. Now this hatchery. Rogue may tap out.
Yeah, he's looking a little bit sad right now. This game might be getting out of control.
The last base that Rogue's trying to tank. INnoVation's going to shut down as far as I can tell.
Rogue does not have much supply at all here. Sending his Lings up. He's going to defend this for the time being. Just making a lot of Lings and Banes at the moment. INnoVation, though, he's still got some good mining going on. He's adding another starport. He's starting to get into some Liberators as well, just in case more Ultras can be afforded. But as we can see, that economy of Rogue is not doing so well anymore.
Okay, the Lings are coming up again. I mean, look, guys, Rogue needs this expansion. If he loses it, it's done. Look at the mini-map. There's purple, but there aren't those red expansions. There aren't buildings here to occupy it.
Oh, some good Viper usage. It's not enough. GG.
Okay, we're going to game 5.
Dude,
Sick.
Excellent.
Game. Excellent game. Wow.
INnoVation showing his power, showing why he is considered the greatest player on Earth.
There's a grin behind the eyes of INnoVation right now.
Yes.
He knows, okay, I did what I normally did and it worked. He's not going to follow, I guess, what the other Terrans are doing. He went for that Marine tank style, and it paid off.
Hats off to Rogue, though, holding on that long.
Yeah.
He was 40-50 army supply down for most of it. That was like some Dark-esque handling of that situation. Eventually getting into his Ultras, just barely not breaking the back of INnoVation. That was just, what a game. These two are absolutely amongst the greatest players that have ever been.
Yeah.
Oh my God, game 5 coming up as well. We're spoiled.
We are. I'm so glad we're actually going to game 5.
Yeah.
One of our players has requested a short break, which we do allow each player to have one of if they need it. But we'll be going into game 5 shortly here. I do wonder, does INnoVation then stick with the infantry style, obviously with tanks, regardless of the map? Because I think the answer is
Well, with regards to the map, it's Odyssey next. It's a smaller map.
Yeah.
The pushes can come a little bit more quickly. Mech Depot, you see he's rallying in, but it takes so long for his units to get there that Rogue's defenses, like if that was a smaller map and he's doing those pushes, I think the game ends more quickly there.
Yeah.
I think the rallies of Rogue that are coming out are not quick enough to actually defend against such a shorter march distance. So, yeah, I think INnoVation is going to go with bio-type play again, but you never know what's going to happen here. Like, we could see something cheesy come out as well.
Well, that's why we do the best of 5, right? Is that every game, if you were a one-trick pony in StarCraft, well, you're not going to be a tournament champion. You might beat every new person you play and probably
a
ladder
hero.
Yeah, a ladder warrior. But in an actual tournament, you have to have a full range because a really good StarCraft player will, even if you beat them, will pick up on a few of your moves and then start to dominate you, almost like a boxing match. Like we saw Mayweather versus McGregor. McGregor was looking good, but really Mayweather's just downloading him.
Yeah.
And then he comes in and dominates later on. And that's why we do a best of 5 like this. If it is going to be that infantry style, I think the next question is going to be, can Rogue sustain until the Terran mines out that zone on the map that is basically his? Because Terrans, as a concept in StarCraft, a Terran can't expand all the way across the map and hold that base almost ever, unless it's hidden and they didn't see it. Yeah. But if the other player knows, then they take it out. It's very hard for Terran, StarCraft 1 or StarCraft 2, any expansion of either of those games, it's hard to keep a base safe out there. And so Rogue, knowing that, just has to, hang on.
Well, I just really don't have any idea, man, what they're going to be going for. I do think bio once again, but I could see Rogue even cheesing here. That would be kind of crazy because it seems like he absolutely can go head-to-head in these macro games, and he lost the one cheese game, but I don't know.
I don't know, man.
BlizzCon on the line for Rogue still. He has to win this match and the next if he's going to go.
The thing is, as sick as Rogue's play is, I mean, you're against INnoVation, man, the guy who's been killing it in every tournament all over the place.
I mean, and the amount of pressure actually on Rogue here, because everyone knows that Rogue could win BlizzCon. His chances are not zero going into if he makes it there, right? So like the pressure here is pretty massive. INnoVation currently the favorite to win the World Championship in hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That's right.
Can Rogue get rid of him here and give himself a chance to do it again?
This is the last match between INnoVation and Rogue. The winner goes on to the finals of the GSL Super Tournament. In the bottom right, in the blue, he is
INnoVation.
in the upper left, in the red.
Jin Air Green Wings. Rogue.
Whew, man. Hatchery first play this time. He's been going gas pool hatch a lot. But
that's right,
instead playing, I like that. He sets INnoVation up with something that says, hey, don't do proxies or anything, don't try to cheese me. And then now when it matters, a little bit more economic play.
It's a really good drawing of INnoVation over there.
That looks just like him,
It looks
actually.
uncanny. Oh, there's the...
That is such a good drawing.
I don't know why, but the drawing does still creep me out.
Yeah, it's the creepiest thing
It's
ever.
almost like a zombie version of him or something.
So, after watching this series so far, are you staying with Rogue winning?
I actually feel a little bit less confident now.
Yeah.
Specifically because of the last game. I think if I had seen Rogue beat INnoVation in one of the games where it was actually super long and he went bio, I would be so confident. But now I'm just sort of, I'm not sure. I am though confident that INnoVation's not going to go back.
Okay.
I really strongly feel that it's not going to happen.
Okay. I mean, that kind of makes some sense. It's Rogue is so good with that. The smaller map can work for mech in some ways, but yeah, those big maps that we saw him on earlier, just oh my god.
Now let's
not able to touch
also not forget that there was a game where INnoVation actually went for the Banshees. Like we might see something like that again.
It's possible.
Oh no, what am I saying? Then he'd be going mech again no matter what. I'm sorry. I was thinking of some kind of weird opening or cheese that he could do later on, but
well, he's starting one starport. He did get an additional gas, so obviously he'll be going at least some Banshees or Ravens.
Yep.
But will he add a second starport? We're going to see in a second here, because that's going to tell us pretty much everything.
By the way, considering that we have Dark and Hero on the other side of the bracket, and Dark also plays long games, the two guys that get to the finals should be exhausted.
Yeah.
These guys, we have a lot of people that 3 out of the 4 people we have are just notorious for having long games.
Don't worry, Hero will cure us of that.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, if Hero goes for a bunch of timings, there's almost no way that we can actually segue that into a long macro game. So,
well, yeah, I mean,
then again, you never know. Hero's, I think, got a much more matured style.
Yeah, he's a
that he's been
range
using
of play.
for sure.
And PVZ definitely can go into a lot of late games. By the way, it is just one starport, so definitely leaning towards INnoVation, still going bio, but we will see about that. He can still go mech off this, obviously. The Overlord coming in to scout. Sees that Cloak is on the way already here.
Here comes the Reaper and the 2 Hellions. And it looks like he wants to loop around here and start trying to take out some creep, anything he can do there. Everything looking pretty normal so far, man. Viking out here to try to drive back the Overlords.
Just, yeah, I mean, everything is normal here, and Stim does get started. So that seals the deal. INnoVation is going to be going into bio play. He hasn't done it in a greedy way this game, the third command center. Not like in the previous game, let's not forget, it was like factory third command.
Yeah.
Here he's going into Banshee with, he was upgrading Cloak. I guess he's not going to go for that, but, this is like kind of a safety version. INnoVation falling back completely, you know, on his kind of old style.
Okay, here we go.
I like that, by the way, because the Speed Overlord saw Cloak on the way, so he gets a medevac and drops Hellions instead.
It's super smart. So he's going to come in here now. Ooh. Let's see if Rogue's ready. Rogue was probably not expecting to drop at all, so he might not have his army in the right spot.
He's got Overlords there watching.
He's actually completely fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, is he, though?
Okay.
Hellions, some swift micro.
Well, the Hellions are thinning out, but it's the medevac that's starting to take a lot of damage. The way these drops normally work, it's the Queens targeting the medevacs while the Lings are trying to buy time without being totally wiped out. Obviously, Lings are not great against Hellions.
These Hellions poke into the third base, get a single drone, and have to back up. So Rogue's still defending everything very, very well. This is not the biggest deal, though. It's not like INnoVation is losing a ton of units. He's lost 3 Hellions, killed some Lings, killed a drone.
Since we got a shot of the gold base, we might as well mention one thing that makes this map a little bit different is if one player takes the gold base, it requires an immediate response from the other player.
Yeah.
Gold bases always do that. Unless it's like a cheese, then there's some other weird variables there. But if you're both expanding gradually and someone takes the gold, you either have to match that or stop them from having it. And that's certainly, I think, the next expansion that Rogue could be taking. INnoVation, just with the way he's set this game up, is going to have a 4th base a little bit later. And here we go. Rogue now taking that gold base down there in the lower left quadrant.
Well, INnoVation, though, he's still, you know, kind of like on point for what he wants to do. He's got his upgrades going very, very early. The medevacs are being sent out to do some harassment. The creep spread is not super far out yet, so he can start to manage that a little bit, start putting on some pressure, and that's also going to open up his third base, getting mined quickly now.
Okay, here come the 2 medevacs from the bottom. And we're going to see how much damage they can do. Ideally, the Widow Mine is going to have a big connect here on some of the Lings that allow this to seesaw to the Terran's favor.
All right, I love that Widow Mine there, trying to drag some of his units in. Does get a decent amount of Lings, but...
Yeah, not bad, but not great either, I'd say.
Yeah.
And it's also very clear that Rogue, as we kind of know him as currently, right now here in 2017, the guy who always seems to have enough whenever you attack him.
Now, let's watch for a possible second factory here. He is already producing siege tanks.
Yeah.
Obviously, he knows that Hydralisks will be on the way, and there's that second fact. So he's hitting that second factory really at a...
So...
It's not me that's good, it's INnoVation that's
Miss
good,
Cleo of esports over here telling us the future. That was...
well,
wow.
If he doesn't make the second fact, I'll tell you the future. Rogue kills him with Bane Hydra.
So, the drops, by the way, have not really done that much. The gold base is being mined from. I think you are correct, Artosis. INnoVation's teching up properly.
No, he's hitting everything just right, and his upgrades are staying a little bit ahead of Rogue, so that's quite nice as well.
If you guys are just now joining us, the first half of this started out with INnoVation trying to mech and make it work. The second half of this has been INnoVation trying to bio, and the bio games have had success. So, and the one game that Rogue lost, just to clarify, was one where Rogue did a crazy all-in and INnoVation held it.
So right now the infestation pit is coming up, so that's actually important to watch. Like we were talking about before, if you can get Vipers out or Ultralisks out, these are the 2 units that really can do well against this type of unit composition. We'll see what he ends up going for here. 2-2 on the way. INnoVation isn't going to push until his 2-2 is finishing up at the that's the earliest he can really push. And that gives him time to really stack the siege tanks up and utilize that second factory as well. But Rogue is on top of his hive timing. Like, this is a bit quicker than last game, I think.
That's right. So, we have both players getting rapidly close to maxing out. Once Terran gets close to that max out point, the push is going to start up. This operates a little bit differently than the mech games we saw, where sometimes, because it's harder to max out with mech. It takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Which means that Zerg maxes out at a normal rate and then gets to save money. Doesn't always turn out that way here with Bio. Normally it's sort of the 2 armies clashing into each other, and it's a lot about control and execution. And here we go. We're getting to that point right now.
All right, that hive is going to be finishing up. 2-2 is going to finish for INnoVation, and it's pretty well ahead 2-2 for Rogue. So that is very, very, very important. Don't forget the Hydralisks do not have any plus attack upgrades. So that 2 armor on the Marines really going to give them a lot of stability. And of course, INnoVation also gets +1 plating. So even his medevacs, tanks, all that, going to live through a lot more.
Okay, Lings and Hydra's now coming out. Wants to make sure that Terran feels the pressure. We have some Lings and Banelings, maybe just to do that little counter over there.
The Viper on the way, Adrenal Glands as well as an Ultralisk Cavern, but it's going to take a bit for all that tech to come in. INnoVation pushing forward now with his siege tanks.
This Hydra's off creep. He's got to be very careful. Here comes that counterattack. This base is quite important here. He's hoping INnoVation isn't watching in time. Good pickup. SCVs are evacuated. Now, see what that does? That makes the Terran go back and try to clean that up. Oh, he's going to try to intercept it.
That buys a lot of time. I love this drop of the Marines trying to slow this all down from going back, trying to pick off as many units as he can.
Oh!
I didn't even see it.
I didn't see that.
Oh, my
Did he burrow it?
Yes, that is the only thing that could have been.
Okay. Yeah, I missed it.
Either that, we have God Powers patch that came out today that I didn't see.
You know what's crazy?
God.
I didn't see it. You didn't see it.
And
INnoVation didn't see it. I don't think most people that were watching saw it.
Dude, that could be a move that wins him this game.
Yeah. Big plays there.
Man. That was so awesome.
And that was just Rogue in the moment.
Dude, I guess he burrowed them before he ran down, knowing he'd be chased back. Is that what happened? I'm not even sure.
I don't know.
I gotta go back and rewatch this.
I actually don't know how that happened.
Can we pause? Can we restart from replay or something here? That is so crazy, though. Okay, now they're both sitting here max out. Ultralisks are on the way. Chitinous plating on the way as well.
Adrenal Glands just finished here, making these things a lot stronger. Okay, the Banes are coming up now.
Ooh, killing off a lot of SCVs here as well. Rogue with the clutch plays.
Yep. Taking out all these SCVs.
Is he going to get that orbital?
I think so. Yeah, he's going to get it, man.
Uh-oh.
Okay, that means INnoVation's got to make this push work. He's coming in now.
There's a lot
There's
of
so many Banelings. Oh, my God.
Oh, but they are not done morphing. Yep. He's getting on top of them.
Oh, meanwhile, this is not going to win INnoVation the game, this little attack, but it's something to keep Zerg a little bit distracted. A lot of these Banes getting mowed down. Rogue not with the best control so far. Some of these Ultras are coming down. We need more Links to come in with him, though.
Getting on top of those siege tanks. Chitinous plating not quite done.
Oh, my God. He's cleaning it up. He's doing it.
Cleaning it up. A couple Liberators coming up and sieging, but the Hydra's coming in from behind, cleaning them as well. INnoVation does end up getting this hatchery, but he's lost all of his army.
The entire left rim of the map is Rogues. INnoVation has been squashed into a tight little ball in the bottom right. The push has been broken. INnoVation trying to regroup. Low in supply where Rogue is just, okay, he's basically maxed out now again. And looking to punish. Dude. And this base just to the right, or just to the left, excuse me, of the main is the only thing that INnoVation has going for him. And I don't know if there's going to be anything that can stop Rogue from coming in and squashing it.
Seriously, he just doesn't have anything right now. He's making bio and a couple Liberators. He doesn't have Ghosts. He doesn't have any Siege Tanks left over. Rogue has complete control of this game right now. Big Ling counterattack hitting. He doesn't even care.
Okay, he's actually spilling in here now. INnoVation's falling apart. Artosis, I think INnoVation might take this. He's still, though, holding this push. Yeah. Maybe I spoke too soon. He's actually going to expand into the other side of the map. But what about this counter, man? INnoVation supply block.
Ling's tearing everything apart. All he has to do is not waste his main army.
Yep, he just needs to buy time.
INnoVation trying to push forward, trying to get in here before there's actually Lings and Banes to help out this army. Picks off an Ultralisk very, very well. He has Siege Tanks behind here as well, picking off another Ultra. The third Ultra might end up going down as well, but the Hydra's getting on top of this army.
This is the only thing INnoVation has left, and it's slowly getting swallowed up. He picks up, meanwhile, back at home. Everything is falling apart for INnoVation, and I think this is the killing blow.
It might well be. This orbital probably going to fall to the Hydras, but Rogue chasing forward, trying to unload his INnoVation to hold on to this area. The Planetary is his last bastion of hope, trying to repair it, but the Banelings rolling on top of these SCVs.
And I don't think he can do anything else. This last expansion, that's all he has. Even his natural that was there before is now gone. A small ragtag army of Terran units has driven Rogue back out, but Rogue is already rebuilding, remaxing out soon.
Yeah, he definitely has the bigger economy, but this Planetary,
oh my God,
he used so much on this Planetary, didn't quite kill it off.
Yeah, maybe a slight overextension there. However, there's not really that many opportunities here for INnoVation.
No, well, INnoVation has to go win right now. He has 17 SCVs, almost no units left as well. Rogue punching through this army. GG! Oh my God, Rogue wins an epic for the ages, 3-2 over INnoVation. moving to the finals of GSL Super Tournament number 2 and one step closer to his dream of BlizzCon.
Everybody's saying INnoVation was going to be the guy to take this tournament, and Rogue beat him not just with INnoVation's solid mech style, but also the bio style as well, showing that both variants of TVZ going to the late game, Rogue can handle all the way to the end.
The Ling Bane counterattack to draw INnoVation's army back, and then the Baneling landmines. This was the key to victory in game number 5, no doubt about it. INnoVation was hitting such a sharp 2-2 with tank timing attack before the Hive Tech was out, and Rogue pulls it back with brilliant tactics to add to just everything else that he can do in this game.
I gotta say, Rogue is killing Ed. We no longer have any Terrans here in the Super Tournament. Rogue is in the finals, and then coming up, we have either Dark or Hero going to the finals. But that was truly beautiful play. And the only other game that Rogue lost was the one where he did that all-in, which almost worked, by the way. So Rogue really hitting the next level of Zerg. Of course, it was Dark initially leading the forefront of solid late game, ZVT especially, but now it's Rogue as well. We might even have Rogue versus Dark in the finals, too.
Yeah, that is a real possibility, but Hero has been a man on fire. He hasn't lost a game so far.
Oh, yeah, that's true, actually.
He
He's
hasn't
undefeated.
lost a game.
And he won the last
Super Tournament is
too.
his tournament. I don't know why, but he's just a god here. So will he be able to take out Dark here in a best-of-5? We'll see.
We're going to go to a short break. When we come back, the second half of the semifinals here at the GSL Super Tournament.